The truth is, no one knows the truth. No one ever has. But there are many who claim to, or believe that they have some divine access to it. This thinking is clearly wrong. Nor do we need systems, or have ever needed them. In fact, we need to remove systems and learn to work together culturally. Allow me to explain why this is so. First, let me explain about globalism developing organically. In a way, it is. The internet has helped to inform and connect people. There are rebellious movements underway as the old systems are breaking down, like the ones before them. We are suffering problems due to our greed, overpopulating, and our general lack of wisdom. There are reasons for this that I have gone into and will go into in my videos. Cultures are changing, the people and ideas, and they are thusly overthrowing the old systems. This in no way demands a new system. Systems will be established, as they always have, but they are not needed. Read Alan Watts for some basic understanding as to why systems are created and maintained. It is due to a need that some have for control, a need that others have to assert their independence, or rugged individualism, as Watts would say, as well as a feeling of security for the insecure. It is an avoidance of the real mystery in chaos, which is life itself, of the adventure or the dream which is consciousness. It is a rope around the neck of the true self, throttling you, and holding everything in place how it ought to be, according to whoever might be in charge. In short, it's a false reality placed over the real one for the ego's sake. Life is meant to be full of challenge. We are meant to be challenged so that we can grow. This is what we call evolution, and it's very healthy. Whenever we cage ourselves into a sheltered existence, whether it be a societal structure or a self-patterned daily routine, we begin to de-evolve. That is to say, we begin to lose our passion, our thirst for life. Our imagination wanes, our intuition dies, and our lives become sterile, and we feel empty inside, because we are. To quote the late and great Joseph Campbell, life is a beautiful opera, only that it hurts, and it's meant to be that way. When mortals begin acting like gods, life becomes a living satire. As I explained in the video, we do not have the answers. Even if some of us are blessed or are special, whether some of us might actually be angels or gods on the spiritual level, while we are here on this earth, we are mortal. We do not remember where we came from or why we are here. We only dream of such things. Here in this physical and metaphysical world, we are meant to deal with its own reality and overcome the obstacles as best as we can. Christians would say it is not for us to question God. The truth in this wisdom is clear. We are not given the answers. Some men want to believe that they do have special access to illumination and can change things. True prophetic visions can lie, as J.R.R. Tolkien alluded to in The Lord of the Rings, with the Palantir and other devices, causing one side or the other side of the conflict to be fooled multiple times. As Christians are quick to add, other forces than the one that you believe that you are speaking with can trick you. Despite what some New Age figures claim, a person can lie through telepathy. So how do you know, then, who you are speaking with? I believe that Joan of Arc really heard the voice of God. I just don't believe that it was his. A farm girl at the age of 14 becomes a great warrior and military general without proper experience or education. There is definitely a supernatural influence, but I highly doubt that God, or the creative force behind life, whatever it might be, would care so much for France alone as to pit them against more of his children. Would it not be far wiser for God to have spoken with members of the British side of the conflict, to encourage or order them to pull back? Obviously an entity of some kind had reached the girl, because it was able, which had only France's interests in mind. The point being, no one has true divine knowing in this world. It is an obvious conclusion that we are not meant to. Whenever someone claims they have it, they always turn out to either be a hoaxer, a delusional pontiff, or a self-deluded savior of the world. It all boils down to ego, plain and simple. There is no harm in passion. Like any other powerful emotion, it can overwhelm one's senses to the point where it becomes a blinding force. People such as this are extremely dangerous. There should be no need to remind you of an imbecilic German soldier who dreamed of a utopia of blondes. Anyone can be inspired, and what inspiration is a mystery unto itself. Like prophetic visions, they can lead you down a false path. What matters is balance, reason, and an open mind. We must be honest to ourselves and to each other. We must promote true knowledge of things, a deeper understanding. We must also find common grounds and learn to work together. This is not easy, and in all likelihood it was never meant to be. But that's life, as we say. We must have faith in ourselves and proceed naturally. Allow things to develop organically. When we interfere with this natural stream of life, we offset the flow. We damage everything and hold back true evolution. Deception is our greatest enemy. The truth shall set us free. For life moves ever onward, while lies hold us still at best and pull us backwards at worst. I believe that overpopulation is an issue of great concern to the extremist elitists pushing for a new world order. The fact that a global society is being planned should be obvious to most people interested in these topics by now, as it has been admitted by several leading political figures from around the world and has been openly discussed on the Vatican's website. Addressing the problem and searching for solutions is indeed wise, but it is not for the few to decide how the human race is to handle the problem. It is this self-deluded, ego-centered ignorance which has led us down this very path in the first place. The original definition of insanity was to do the same thing over and over again expecting a different result. Until we learn from our mistakes, I fear that we are stuck in one place while the problems around us continue to mount. A whole lot of issues need to come out, as they have been, but fully. We need to get it all out onto the table and examine it. What we do will be a natural, organic thing, which will come about from us as a race. There is a reason why old folk tales have survived for thousands of years. They have grown through the telling of many hearts and minds, refined like a smooth pebble of pure understanding. Thus, the result was wise, organic. You might say that the stone at the shore is harder than the water repelled by its stubborn barrier. But when you look closer, you realize that the water is in fact defeating the stone, wearing it down century by century. The persistence of the tide defeats the strength of the stone. In the same way, a determined species can survive in the wild. In the same way, humankind can survive its obstacles, as it has been doing for thousands of years, overcoming one catastrophe after another. In conclusion, the ambitious must learn to be patient. As well, the lazy or disinterested must learn the importance of the problems around them. Proper education of real truths, learning to connect and better understand each other and the problems that we face together. Globalism is developing organically, as it should, little by little. Systems only get in the way, like a stone guarding against the tide.